Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to cover the benchmarks that I ran on this one specific setting, and I hope that will help you guys with setting up your sim a little bit better, and that setting is displacement mapping. Alright, so what exactly is displacement mapping and what does it do? So right now I have displacement mapping on, so you will see how my terrain looks like. By the way, I'm at PDX. Now I'll show you guys how the terrain looks like if my displacement mapping is off. So we'll go to global rendering quality, turn it off, save, resume. There you go. So you see how everything is just kind of flat now. But in IFR flights, my question to you guys is it worth leaving displacement mapping on? I have seen a lot of you guys when you share settings with me, I have seen that displacement mapping is on for you guys. So I just wanted to rest my case on this setting. Maybe this is a good setting to leave it on when you're flying VFR, when you have more headroom on your hardware anyway, because you're not flying an airliner which has very complex systems running in the background. This is how displacement mapping off looks like, and just to do a 1-to-1 again, this is how it looks like when it's on. So there's a little bit of a variation in terrain. But now I'm gonna share with you guys my benchmark results on what the average frame rates, minimum, maximum, 1% lows and 0.1% lows look like when I violently pan around for 1 minute, okay? And I think that should tell you what you need to do with this setting if you're only flying airliners. Alright, so here are my results for displacement mapping off versus on. You'll see that across the board, right from starting from the average frame rate. Average frame rate is not that different. To be honest, like 117, 114, that wouldn't be perceived by your eyes. But when it starts becoming really important is look at this minimum frame rate. The minimum frame rate I got with displacement mapping off was 105, while the minimum frames that I got with displacement mapping off was 46. So almost 50% or even more than 50% drop in minimum frame rate. So this is where your stutters come in. So if you want a smooth sim, this is where you need to kind of tune in the settings. By the way, you haven't watched that stutter free guide. I highly advise watching that. I think people are sleeping on that guide. Just watch that guide, please. It will change your sim. A lot of people have changed their sims with that guide. And this is, again, very important. 1% lows and 0.1% lows. This is what you need to increase with everything that you do to get a smooth sim. 27 FPS, 1% lows, while the 1% lows here drop to 17. Most importantly, the 0.1% lows, this is where the micro stutters come in, right? 21.7, while this thing has dropped to 5.5 frames per second. So this, if this doesn't tell you that you need to turn this setting off for IFR, I don't know what will. And even for VFR, like this is not noticeable, okay? Turn this setting off. It is causing you stutters, 100% causing it. And again, everyone's system is different, so these numbers will be different for everyone. I get that. On a 1-to-1 basis, this setting is not helping you, because I have seen people tuning settings for hours and days and months, but then they have this simple setting on. When you're trying to decide what setting to turn on and off, do a quick benchmark while panning around so that you know what your 1% lows and 0.1% lows are for that setting. Okay, anyway, I don't want to make this video longer than it should be. Hopefully that helped you guys out. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of these kind of short tips and tricks videos about flight simulators, and I'll see you guys on the next one.